Good almost evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Drew Bear or Pyro Bear 1776 here. Got a great video for you today, this evening. It's kind of chilly. Most of our snow wall has melted. It was like up to here when we initially got it. It was just about as tall as I am. I'm shy of 6 foot. I'm like 5'10", 5'9", somewhere like that. But anyhow, there are certain books that I feel a good chunk of us had to read in school that have just kind of stuck with us. This is one of those books. But did you know this book has been made into a movie? I sure didn't. But anyhow, there's a book by Paul something. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head what his last name is, but Paul something, and called Hatchet. Now, this story it's about a 13 or 14-year-old boy, can't remember which it is, but his name's Brian. Now, Brian and his mom, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say that they live in Michigan, maybe Kentucky, maybe even Indiana, where I'm from, but I'm not sure. But Brian and his mom live down in the States a little bit, and he's gonna go visit his dad this one particular summer. His dad lives up in Canada. He drills oil rigs up in Canada, up in the Yukons. So, and I just want to mention this before anything else. His mom and his dad, they're divorced. So there's that. And anyone who knows anything about divorces, they're not the healthiest thing to raise a child in or around. So because, it'll mess with the child some, mess with the kids. So anyhow, so Brian goes on a little trip with the pilot. I think his name is Jim or Jake or something like that. But a single-engine plane, bush plane. Not sure about the make, and ultimately it don't matter. But of course, Snoop will probably be watching this thinking, "What's wrong with you? It does too matter." Oh, it's not a Cessna. Oh, be quiet. But anyhow, so to make a long story short, the plane goes down, and Brian has to survive for so many days, but he eventually does get rescued, and he uses his hatchet to help him survive. And anyone who knows anything about a hatchet, it's a little bitty thing. The blade's not even that big on a hatchet, I don't think. But anyhow, this was made into a movie back in the 90s. I think it was either 90 or 98, something like that. But the name of the book is Hatchet, but the name of the movie that the book was based off of is called A Cry in the Wild. Now, I'm not really sure what necessarily brought on the change, but I believe it might have something to do with copyright issues. When you have to have a copyright, you have to pay so much to a clause so you can use that copyright. Kind of along the same reason why when Disney opened Rock and Roller Coaster, I have no clue why they're retheming that to the Muppets. I really don't. I like the Muppets, but I like Aerosmith a lot better. And it goes with that ride. But anyhow. But copyright being a company has to pay so much to this group to use its name, to use its music. The example that I'm getting at is Disney had to pay Aerosmith to use their music on the ride. So whoever the studio was that made that wanted to make a movie based off Hatchet, apparently they didn't want to pay this Paul guy so much money to use the title of his book for the title of this movie. And, you know, that's understandable. I mean, this was the mid to late 90s, I'm going to say. I'm not real sure off the top of my head. I mean, I might look it up and put it down in the video description below. I don't know. But anyhow, if you got like hour and a half to rub together, I very highly encourage you to check this out. I mean, I remember us watching it in, I'm going to say, 3rd grade. So let's see for a minute. That was like, well, middle of this year, that'll be 14 years ago. That's crazy to think about. It really is. It'll be 4 years this June since I've been out of school. That's crazy to think about, too. But, anyhow. You know, there's other movies and books that I know of that are based off movies. Another one that I know of is Bridge to Terabithia. If you guys want to hear me talk about that or review that or just discuss it some, you know, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. A huge thank you to who's been hitting subscribe. It's very much appreciated, as always. I think last time I looked, we were at like, I don't know, 638 subscribers, I think, which is incredible. It honestly, truly is incredible. And let's see, what else? Oh, right. Wanted to also mention this, my latest video, where if the Cold as Ice project is still going on or not. It is going to be going on. I mean, I'm still going to be asking Jackson and Brendan and Reagan and whoever else who wants to participate in it, maybe their roles and whatnot. I'm continuing to develop the script off and on, like a little bit each week. A couple days of a week, I'll take like a half hour or so and just kind of write so much of it out, tweak it some, and just go how it is. I mean, obviously there's still a lot more planning to be done with that. I mean, I gotta bring it up to the boys and Reagan. Gotta ask Sam. Gotta possibly get a few props for it. And probably the biggest thing is gotta get the assortment, which that's gonna be, probably won't even have the assortment until maybe 2035. I mean, I'm just spitballing here because, you know, the thing's over 6 feet tall. And I actually looked it up. It weighs like 110, 120 something pounds. And actually the cheapest I found it for is actually a lot cheaper than what I cited it for. Originally, I cited it that it was like $700 and something. It's $500 and something. It's the cheapest I found it for. So there is that. It's actually cheaper than what I thought it was. But still, $500 something is not cheap either. But anyhow, at any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, please subscribe, like, comment down below if you would like me to review / talk about Bridge to Terabithia. And by the way, Cry in the Wild is free on YouTube. I think you can also get on there and listen to Hatchet as well. But very highly encourage you guys to check it out. It's a blast from my past. Blast from my almost 15 years ago past, might I add, which is insane for me. But anyhow, guys, hope you enjoyed. Send some nice weather to Indiana, please. I really don't want more snow. But with that, take care, everyone.